Hi everyone, welcome to my talk on Sibling Solutions. I'm Megha Mawandia and I'm an instructor with Hand in Hand Parenting. Hand in Hand Parenting is a not for profit based out of Palo Alto, California, and we believe in providing parents connection and support so that they're able to support their children. I am a parent of two little girls, aged 8 and 11, and based out of Mumbai, India. My journey with hand in hand parenting actually started with looking for solutions for their sibling rivalry. It just seemed to take over my household and felt like nothing I was doing was working with them. I hope over this next half an hour, I'm able to provide you some concrete suggestions and tools that you can use in your house to help the situation. I'd like to start off by talking a little bit about how the children's sense of connection is fragile. A small thing like getting on a phone call or going to cook dinner can be enough to break their sense of connection. If they see one sibling playing with a toy, they want that toy. And that does not mean that they're not able to share, it actually means they need connection. Think about the sense of connection like a radar, like a Wi-Fi radar looking for a signal. And as it's going on looking for a signal, it's blinking, it's blinking, it's blinking. And the moment there's a sense of connection and it turns green, they're happy and they want to get along. Those moments you see them playing together, that's when the connection is green. So, how do we help them? How do we get this sense of connection to work with each other? I'm going to share with you two tools to talk about that help promote the sense of connection in the family. After that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a policy that can work really well in your house and address some questions that you may have. Please feel free to post any comments and I will try to get to your questions as well. I have some questions which people have sent to me before, and I'll talk about those. The first tool I would like to share with you is special time. Special time is a wonderful tool, and once you start introducing it to your children, I promise you they're going to keep asking for it again and again. The first rule to special time is it cannot be used as a reward. It is a gift that you give freely, and there are no back presents in it. When you offer special time, you need to be in a position where you're able to give them that time and connection and give them special time. Do not give them special time if you're busy, if you're multitasking, or if you're just exhausted. In special time, we would like you to use a timer. Set up a timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Try to keep it within that time because trust me, you need the time afterwards. Give your child one on one time, undivided attention, where you are not trying to manage both your children together or three children. When you are doing special time with one child, the way I like to use this is I tell my children, I'm like a horse with blinkers on. I can see nobody but you when I'm doing special time with you. This seems to play off really well on their sibling rivalry. Often, one child uses her time with her time with me during special time to show the other sibling what fun she's having with me. The other one tries to disrupt the same special time while we're going on. Because I have blinkers on, I am not paying attention to any of the disruptions the other child is causing, except if there's an emergency and blood comes into the picture, then I have to pause special time and address to my child's emergency needs. But safety aside, during special time, there is nothing else that can come in the way of one child and me. There was this one time when, during the entire special time, my younger one kept staring at her older sister while she was doing special time with me. It was almost like, see, I'm having so much fun. And my older one kept talking about how that wasn't fair and this is not okay, but I gave her all my attention. When the timer went off, I took a 15-minute break. always hold a buffer between two children you're providing special time to, because you're going to need the break for yourself. And sometimes, if big feelings come up for your child, you need that buffer to be able to address those big feelings before you move on to your second child. After that 15-minute break, when I went on to my other one, she kept looking at her younger sister to say, see, now we're having so much fun. So it almost became a competition between each other about who is going to do more exciting things with mom during special time. The end solution, they're both getting connection. They're both getting time with mom one on one. As soon as I finished special time with both of them, both their issues were forgotten and addressed, and they went along and played with each other. First, they started playing with a game that I had played with my older one, because that was a special time that just got over. And then they moved on to a game that I was playing with my younger one, because there was something in it that my older one found intriguing. Special time does not have to be done with both siblings on the same day. I keep saying both because that's the default for me and my children, but this works really well whether you have 3 children, 4 children, how many ever children. But I repeat, special time should never be done with 2 children together. That moves on to another tool called play listening, which I'm not going to address here today, but that's just about fun and laughter, where you could be all members of the family while play listening. The next tool I would like to share with you is stay listening. If you remember, I talked about that 15-minute buffer to address some big feelings that children might bring up. Stay listening is one way we address that. We use stay listening when children are crying, they're upset, they're being aggressive, they're being withdrawn, or they're fighting over something. We walk in, we address the child's big feelings, by saying, I'm so sorry you feel like this. I'm here for you. We provide connection, we provide empathy, but we do not provide solutions. We do not tell them how this can be better. We believe our acknowledging their feelings, our empathy, is all they need for them to start feeling that sense of connection, to repair their sense of connection, to make that signal green so that they're able to figure it out for themselves. In stay listening, some anecdotes that I would like to share, some experiences of my own with stay listening with my children, are when there was this one time when they were fighting like crazy over who gets to play the piano first, over whose piano it is. It is a family's piano. I really cannot afford money or space to hold 2 pianos in my house. My younger one is the one who's learning the piano as an instrument. My older one is learning the cello. And at that moment, they both wanted to play the piano together. I chose that time to provide stay listening first to my older one, because since this was homework for my younger one, she needed to practice her piece. I needed her to play with it at that time. I took my older one aside and I said, I'm so sorry you're feeling like this. I'm right here for you. And she started crying and kicking at me and pushing me away. I want to play the piano and you never let me play the piano, and this is not her piano and you said it's our piano and I want to play it and I want to play it right now. She only wants to play the piano when I want to play the piano. There were a lot of solutions going through in my mind that, hey, you know what? You have cello homework. You can play on your cello right now. And when she's done with her practice, you can go back to her. But instead, I just said, I'm so sorry you're feeling like this. I know you want to play the piano. And I'm right here for you. I'm right here. I'm with you while I know you want to play the piano. And like a broken record, I just kept repeating that again and again and again. And I didn't say it with disinterest, like, yeah, you want to play the piano. I know. I said it with extreme understanding because, yeah, she did want to play the piano right then. But unfortunately, only one of them could play the piano at that point of time. As I kept telling her that again and again, it moved from being about the piano to being about that time when she used something of hers, when my younger one used something of once, and she didn't like it. And I wasn't there to intervene right then. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I wasn't home when that happened. I'm right here for you right now. And as the story kept moving, it moved into school, it moved into an issue she was having with her friend in school, and how the teacher took the friend's side. And ultimately, it just finished. It just finished. And she said, okay, can you read a book with me? I said, yeah, sure. I'm right here. And I can read a book with you. And that's the power of stay listening. When my younger one finished her piano and moved into it, my older one got it. My younger one brought out her feelings. And she said, you don't allow me to use the cello, so why should she be allowed to use the piano? And at that point, I didn't want to tell her, sweetheart, you're not able to use the cello properly. You need to learn how to play on the cello. It's a fragile instrument, and the tuning goes off very quickly. That was not the time for me to address that. I just told her, I'm so sorry you're feeling like this. I'm here for you. Again, the stories moved from moment to moment, from issue to issue. But because she'd already had the piano, she had much, much, much less to release during stay listening. And we were able to move on to a game of Clue very quickly. As a policy at Hand in Hand, we believe in helping your child wait. We do not say that let's set a timer for children when they're playing with something. If they want to play with the same toy, we take the other child and we wait with them. In our waiting, we are promoting two values. The first one being life is not fair. It's not necessary that every time in life there is going to be a timer available and you will get a fair amount of time to play with the same toy. The second value we are promoting over here is by saying, let the other one enjoy to their fullest. And when you can go and address it, you can enjoy it to your fullest. But what we are really doing beyond all of these is addressing the need for connection. We believe when they're fighting for that yellow bucket, it's really not about that bucket. When my children were fighting about the piano, it really was not about the piano. It was about so much more other than the piano. It was them telling me and letting me know that their fragile sense of connection had broken right then. And they needed me to help make it green, to help make it connected again. By taking them one at a time and providing them stay listening, I was able to do that. It's sometimes when they're fighting with each other, and they're getting aggressive with each other, you might need to bring in someone else to help you out. It could be another parent, it could be someone else to help, it could even be an iPad or a television. Choose one child who seems to have a more urgent need of connection and provide them the support. Try to make sure that you're constantly rotating amongst children. They shouldn't feel that one child is always getting that first sense of connection. That was a little bit about Sibling Solutions from my side. Please feel free to ask any questions that you have, and I will try to address them. You can type them in the comment section below. I'm going to address a few questions that parents have already written in to me before that they would like me to talk about here. So, one parent asked, when both children are aggressive and hitting each other, and I intervene, they start to hit me. How do I handle that solution? Yes, that's really difficult. You came in to help them, and now they have turned their attack onto you. How do you intervene? When children are being aggressive, they have lost that sense of connection. So the first thing I need to do at that point is come in and help them with that sense of connection. I will take one child. If one child has been hurt more badly, I will pick that child first. If it is the one who is being aggressive, is looking like they're really lost, and this is almost their last resort of asking for help. there's complete anger, and it's almost like there's a red mist in front of their eyes and they can't see anything, then I will address them first instead of addressing the child who has been hit. It's not always a straightforward answer. I will take the child out of that situation. I will take them into the room, into a separate room, so that I'm able to provide them that sense of connection. I will hold their hand. Sometimes having pillows can be handy. If they're being aggressive and they want to hit you, protect yourself, pad yourself with lots of pillows if you have to. Hold their hands, give them eye contact, and say, I'm so sorry you're feeling like this. I'm right here. Do not at that point say, how could you hit your sibling? It's not okay. How could you hit me? What sort of values are these? And this is not okay. And I'm going to show you a lesson. And you need to go in for a timeout. No. At that point, all I'm going to do is, I'm so sorry you're feeling like this. I'm right here for you. But I can't let you hit me. I'm here for you, but I can't let you hit me. And as you keep repeating that again and again, you've protected yourself. So you're not letting them hit you. You preempt the blows, you preempt their ability to hurt you. You step in control and don't let them hit you at that point. And as you're doing that, you're pouring them in with love and connection. The love and connection you're pouring in starts filling up that void which is that sense of disconnection, which is exactly what they need to make it green again. That connection sign, it becomes green again. And you will see that that aggressive child is not aggressive anymore. It can take some time. It can take a few turns before it starts happening faster and faster. If you notice a pattern between your two children, that they're often getting aggressive, and it's typically one child getting aggressive with the other, or they're taking turns with each other, start to preempt those moments. Is there a time of the day when this is happening more? Can I provide them special time to preempt this break in connection? What can I do to buffer this sense of disconnection? For me, often when I need to go out in the evenings, that's when the sense of connection is fragile. Actually, it's most fragile when I am not home when they come home from school. The moment they walk home and they don't see me available for them, they are going to start fighting and I'm going to get calls from the nanny. At that point, what I have tried to do, what works well for me, is number one, of course, try to be there for them, even if it is just for 15 minutes before they come home. At times when I'm not able to be them, I call them before they call me to ask them how they are feeling and talk to them individually. When this is not possible, also, I ask them to go into separate rooms. I tell my nanny to let them watch the television or let them use the iPad. Not because that is a solution for me, but that is because I am not there to prevent this breakdown, because I am not there to repair the sense of connection, I'm using it as a buffer to stop things from getting worse. Please understand, iPads and televisions are not a solution. They are my last resort for when things are not working out. Another question that people have asked is, when the older one wants to be mom. I often face that this parent asked that I have two daughters. The older daughter, who is 7, is extremely protective of her younger sister, who is 4. So much so that she doesn't let me deal with her sister without intervention. How do I deal with this? So my daughters are 11 and 10 and 8, and often it's my 10-year-old who's telling my 8-year-old what the rules are. Whenever I'm not around, or many times even when I'm around, she starts to tell me that this is how you do things. At that point, I need to step in and remind my older one, sweetie, I know you want to. I know you love your sister so much, but I'm the mom here. And I just bring in that limit without getting into explanations or reasons and stay with that. When my younger one comes and tells me that she's telling me what to do all the time and I don't like it and I don't want to listen to her and it's not fair. I tell her, I know. And you don't have to listen to her all the time. And I'm here. And I'm here to help you. So stay listening again for both of their big feelings to come out. You will also notice there are times when the younger one's very happy to listen to the older one. And that dynamic is what is helping them get along. And that's happening because that sense of connection is green, because they're getting along, because things are going well for both of them. Another question a parent has asked me: how do I get them to bond? How can a parent help the kids bond when they have no common interest? And I don't want to use a stereotypical when there is a boy and a girl, or when there are two boys and one is quiet and one is outgoing. This can happen in all combinations of children. This is not necessarily a personality type. This is just two people. And how do you make them get along when they don't have any common interests? We repeat at this point, your job is not to get the children to get along. Your job as a parent, as the glue holding the family together, is to give each of them the connection they need. As you feed them with this sense of connection, as you pour them with this love and affection individually, the bonding will come. There are parents who've come to me saying, I had a second child so that my first child could have company. That is too much pressure on a child who cannot even speak yet. We need to understand that the decision to have two children, three children, or even one child is based on my planning of what a family looks like, what siblings look like. If I want to have two children, I have two children. If I want to have three children, I have three children. I cannot put that responsibility onto my firstborn, that for you, I had another child. Because what is the responsibility I'm putting on to the second child? And it's not fair because many times they say, I never asked you to have another child. My older one so many times comes up to me and says, I don't I just want to spend time with you alone. I want to go back to those days when my younger one wasn't around. She was two. She was two when the younger one came in. I know when she's saying that to me, she doesn't really know what she's talking about. Sure, she has certain memories, but they're very, very dim right now. This is her just pushing against that feeling of disconnection and asking me to connect with her. I often take my children out on dates, and my husband does the same thing, and we always do it one on one. He takes one, I take the other on a date, and they love getting mom time or dad time to themselves, pouring us with that sense of connection. When they come back together, after that little bit of comparison and rivalry is out of the way, they're happy to bond. They're happy to go and bake cookies with each other. They're happy to compromise and watch the same television show with each other. They're happy to share their clothes. Trust me, they're happy to share their clothes with each other, which doesn't happen often. So, as soon as we provide children that sense of connection, that radar, they're happy to get along. If you would like some more help and support from me, you can call on the number on the screen or email me on talks@treeoak.org. I'm based out of Mumbai, India, and I'd love to help you connect. Thank you so much for joining me on this Facebook Live.